Hello, welcome to day 2. Well done for doing the first one, well done for coming back. So, without further ado, hopefully the volume's a little better today, and it's been a bit of a quirky day trying to get it right. But into Tadasana, let's start and move on. Big toes together, broaden out to the little toe side, lift and spread them. Lift and spread. If that doesn't work, sometimes coming up onto the ball of your foot, pushing into the ball of the big toe, and that can, so there's it starting, ball of the big toe, press in and broaden. Yeah, see that? Broaden and down. Press in, broaden and down. If you have to get the big toes together, if you have to keep the heels apart, keep them apart. If you can, bring them together. Yeah. Active legs, lifting and opening across the collarbones. Chest lifting, collarbones, shoulder blades are doing that in and then down, front ribs to back ribs, tummy lifting, less than half of its total ability. Yeah. Extend into the fingertips. Just for the experience of it, I want you to rotate palms forwards, back, forwards, and back. Feel what's happening. Slightly out of. Feel what's happening here. So that's rotating and back. Now when I rotate that, because this is connected to the collarbone and to the shoulder blade at the back, I can broaden the collarbone, I can move the shoulder blade more in, and then I can draw it down. So keep all of that and bring the arms back. Chin sort of level and bring it back. Make that double chin. You don't have to do this in front of people you're trying to impress, okay? But you can do it in your own home. There we go. And bring your arms out. Rotate. Checking my timing already. Rotate and bring them up. Just make that Y shape. As I bring them up, my front ribs kind of want to do that. Bring them back. Yeah. Back to Tadasana. And then, once again, our imaginary wall. Fingertips to the wall, step your hips back. Sternum lifting to a point between the fingertips. Lengthening back into the sit bones. So you're pushing out of the wall into the sit bones. At the same time, from the sit bones, you lengthen up your spine, sternum to the wall in front of you. Now, ideally, if I had a wall here, I would be doing a better pose. So your hips should be over your ankles. Yeah. And your head just in line with your spine. Don't want you going down to here, and I don't want you going necessarily any further, because I don't want you losing it here. So if I've gone too far, I've lost it here, yeah? I want you to keep that straight. Strong, protected back. Yeah. And then, from there, take a hold of your elbows, lengthen forwards, and now you can let yourself lose it. And lengthen down. Ideally, hips over your heels. Take a few breaths. And then hands to your hips, straighten your back, lift your tummy, and come up. Okay. A couple of really good questions yesterday. How long do you hold a pose for? A minute plus is what you're developing to, although for beginners, it might be more beneficial to move in and move out of it, move in and move out of it again, rather than holding it for any length of time. Once you feel that you're past that a little bit, then you could maybe move on to holding it for 30 seconds, build from there. So Trikonasana, and if you remember, back foot, this is my back leg now, strong leg, active leg, I said that yesterday, so there's switched off leg, there's an active leg. Hopefully that comes across on the camera. So the muscle lifts up and onto the bone, so there's a feeling of up and on, yeah? So, back toes turned in a little, grounded in the big toe, the little toe, the outside edge, instep lifted. As soon as I say that, people with flat feet tell me, I've got flat feet, can't lift. Push down there, and lift here. It doesn't matter if you don't see it lift, you gotta feel those little muscles on the inside. Lift, okay? You will also be able to get a sense of a lift by how you're placing the big toe, the little toe, and how you're working into the outside edge. Front foot is classically heel to instep alignment. Number 2 toe straight ahead. Yeah. If you're a bit wobbly, heel to heel alignment. Yeah. And if you're even more wobbly, have a wall behind you and feel your shoulder blades on it. Okay. So from there, and remember, it's all on the same plane. Exhale and go. And now, like we did yesterday, rotate that round, because this is about the rotation. So the top shoulder lifts, top ribs rotate back, bottom ribs rotate forwards, and you're trying to keep that length along here. And then your hand just goes to wherever. And look at me, head's in line with the spine. Stop talking to the camera. I'd like you just to look forward for now. People look up far too early, and your neck needs protected, okay? Exhale and go. And I don't know what the looking up gives you. Yeah. And up. And the full pose again. A habit. On the other side. Don't forget to connect to your breath. Use that exhalation to ground you in your mat. Exhale, feel like you're sinking into your feet. So, hips mostly forwards, shoulders forwards. Active leg on the front, back leg strong. Exhale, lengthen here. Go as far as is reasonable for you. And without doing this, so keep that long, bring your hand to wherever. Top hand up. Turn it, bring it round. Check the bottom arm. Kind of wants to do that and roll in, roll it back. Like you've been doing Tadasana, yeah? In the mountain pose that we started in. And up. And again twice. Head in line with the spine, looking forwards. And up. And a third. So there is a companion piece to this coming, which will go through the poses in a bit more detail for those that want it and to have the time to spend on it. Okay. Now, step your feet together, Tadasana, big toes together, broaden across the feet, heels together if you can, slightly apart if you need it. Tummy lifting, tailbone long. So what I mean by tailbone long, so there's my tailbone. It's kind of pointing it that way. I want to lengthen it towards the floor. And what that does is it brings you out of an anterior tilt back to a more neutral one. It also decreases the distance that your tummy muscles have to go, which allows you to be able to activate them better. So the next one is we're going to do is Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, and same leg alignment but wider. So I think that's my back edge there. So this is, and again there's more detail if this is new to you and you can't do a very wide leg thing. Have a check in the other video and I'll give you some options, or I'll tell you what the parameters are, because what you don't want to do when you bend is to go past the knee and give this sort of shear force on the, don't know if that's in view, get this shear force on the knee where the knee's gone past the ankle. It's a lot of strain on that tendon. So wider apart, so that's the foot, it's the same as before. I'm going to move it back out of the picture just so that we can get this to there in. Hands on your hips, again it's the same plane, shoulders forwards, hips forwards. I want you to keep all that and look at your knee. Exhale and move your knee. And beginners, your knee's going to want to come in, out, in a line over your second toe. If you can't do that and it has to come in to do that, let it go a little bit at the back hip. Yeah. So ideally this should be back and that should be. So there's a contradiction. Yoga is kind of about, every asana wants you to hold a number of contradictions in your body at the same time. So ideally this stays back as this lengthens ground to inner knee. Yeah. But as I say, if you can't, if your knee's coming in, so if your knee is coming in like that, just let this back hip come forwards a bit until you get the knee right. Okay. Yeah, better to sacrifice it here, because if you do that, see what my knee's doing? Oh, it doesn't like it. Right, okay. So don't do it. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And it is on the same plane. So hands on the hips, take a look. Second time. Same side. Okay. And up again, and we'll go the same. I have a little bad habit of lifting that big toe. Should be lifted. Exhale and go again. Look at that knee moving out over the second toe. Go to your maximum. Keep your shoulders, keep looking forwards. You know, the end pose is here, but that turn needs to come from the middle of your back somewhere. Okay. And up again, we'll go to the other side. So, back foot should be slightly out of frame. On the same plane, extend into the fingertips. Oh no, hands to your hips. Keep an eye on the front knee. Exhale, out over the second toe and sink down. Yeah. So I'll keep an eye on this, because I haven't quite got my distance right. So if I go the whole way where my thigh is parallel to the floor, see how I've gone past, got that Z shape going on, it's not good. Either come out and do it, or creep your toes forwards and do it. Okay. Extend into your fingertips. As you hold it, maybe you'll be able to sink a little further. Come up again. 2 more goes. So fingertips, or hands to hips. Exhale, move, watch. Oh, tummy. So easy to switch that off, isn't it? Just switches off on its own. And up again, your thinking brain will want to be doing this if you're a beginner. Yeah. So this time, feel like you're holding on to a rope on the back wall. And as you go down, this is stopping you from going that way. So ideally, should be like that, coming down and up again. If you're going to get it wrong by sort of leaning back a little bit too much. Yeah. Okay. Active back leg. Make sure that your back leg isn't doing that. See how it's bent? I'm collapsing into the front. You need to get that out, that down, and that lifted. Okay. And there we go. So, coming back to your Tadasana, big toes, heels, front body, front ribs to back ribs, back body. Just take a half a minute with your breathing. Traditionally in through the nose, out through the nose. Whatever way you have to do it, if it's in through the mouth, out through the mouth, it's fine. And at some point today I'll get a link up for if you want to move to a seated finish or to a Shavasana. But essentially that's our 10 minutes done. And hands together, thumbs to your sternum, sternum lifted. Namaste.